Hi and welcome. This is the third part of the KHDA question and answer series, that is the frequently asked questions by students and parents and answered, and these questions are answered by the KHDA, and it is being reshared for the sake of information, creating awareness. Let us begin. Distance learning. Will my children still be able to communicate with their teachers if they need help? Different schools manage this situation in different ways. Please ask your children's school directly. How will online lessons be delivered if services are blocked in UAE? Your school will send details in any applications you may need. We are working on with telecommunications providers to help support schools with distance learning requirements. These questions were asked in the very beginning of the distance learning. If distance learning is not available, what can be done? The UAE Ministry of Education has stated that all schools, universities, and training centers must provide some form of distance learning during the closure period. Please check with your institution to learn how it plans to deliver distance learning. We understand that distance learning may not be relevant or appropriate for children in early education. In this instance, we ask parents and nurseries, early learning centers to find a solution that respects the financial circumstances of parents and centers. We are struggling with the implementation of distance learning because some of our students and staff do not have internet connection. What can we do? During the distance learning period, all Do, Etisalat and Virgin Mobile's customers can access selected video conferencing tools, Blackboard, Zoom, Microsoft Teams, and school websites without data charges. Operators are working to expand the list of available platforms, and all information and updates can be found at these links. I would like to donate my laptop, desktop, mobile device to students in Dubai that don't have one. Your kindness and generosity is appreciated, and your donation will be certainly bring happiness to a young learner in Dubai. Please contact Darul Birr Society by emailing Mr. Naneem or on the given email, who will ensure that your donated device will reach students who are in need of technological assistance during school closures. My children can't access distance learning because they don't have electronic devices. What can I do? We recommend that you get in touch with your school and inform them first. You may also then wish to register your details with your friends at Darul Birr Society using this link. This may be able to assist in providing devices that have been kindly donated from the community. There is a limited supply, so we ask that only parents with no means of access to the device contact Darul Birr Society. My child is registered in a private school in Dubai, and I have already paid the tuition fees for term 3. Can my child continue distance learning for this term from outside the UAE? If your child is already registered at a private school in Dubai and you have paid the fees for the third semester, your child can continue with distance learning from outside the UAE. This is allowed only as long as the school premises remain closed to students. If your child is studying from abroad, please make sure to consider whether the time differences may impact their learning. Distance learning evaluation, stage 1. What is DLE? That is distance learning evaluation. The DLE is a joint initiative between the UAE Ministry of Education (MOE) and Knowledge and Human Development Authority (KHDA), the Abu Dhabi Department of Education and Knowledge (ADEC), and the Sharjah Private Education Authority Ministry of Education (SPEA), designed to evaluate the quality of distance learning provided by public and private schools in the UAE. What is the purpose of DLE? DLE has been developed to create shared expectations of distance learning for schools, parents, and students, and to provide schools with feedback in order to help them improve key aspects of their provision. How was the DLE devised? Teams from MOE, KHDA, ADEC, and SPEA interviewed principals and teachers at public and private schools across the UAE to discuss the implementation of distance learning by their schools and to gain an understanding of how it can be improved. Evaluation criteria and processes were developed and piloted with a number of public and private schools, and insights gained during these pilot evaluations were used. When will the DLE start? The evaluations start before mid-May 2020. How will schools be evaluated on? DLE will cover the following three zones: students' distance learning and well-being, teaching and monitoring of students' learning, leading and managing students' learning. Each of these zones is subdivided into themes which may be supported by descriptors. How will the DLE be implemented? Each school evaluation will be conducted remotely and is expected to take approximately 5 hours. It will include online meetings with the principal and senior leadership team as well as remote observation of lessons. School will be given prior notice of an evaluation. How will the outcomes of the evaluation be shared? DLE outcomes will be shared with the schools and will also be published at a later stage. Information relating to staff. Are all school, university and training institute staffs expected to return to workplace? As of 3rd of June, 100% of staff employed at school, universities and training institutes can return to the workplace provided that specific health and safety conditions are adhered to. These conditions include maintaining a distance of 2 meters between people, wearing face masks, regularly washing and sanitizing hands, disinfecting all staff common areas, screening all visitors and staff members' temperatures are in place, providing an isolation room for people showing symptoms of COVID-19. Which employees are given priority to work remotely at early learning centers, schools and universities. With immediate effect, all schools in Dubai should prioritize employees whose health is vulnerable, including pregnant women, employees over 60 years of age, 60 years old and people of determination to work from home, provided that distance learning continues for all students. Can I return to school after my holiday abroad? The UAE government has put in place specific protocols on the arrival of residents and tourists in the UAE from abroad. These protocols are updated regularly. Please check the official website to learn more. I have just returned from abroad and my employer is refusing to pay my salary during the 14-day quarantine. Can they do this? Staff salaries and employment are governed by the Ministry of Immunization and Human Resources. Please contact the concerned ministry for guidance. I'm having trouble getting paid by my school, university, training institute. What can I do? Please contact the Ministry of Immunization and Human Resource and discuss your eligibility for payment through your legal agreement with them. My school has just cut my salary under the school premises reopens to students. Is it allowed? In line with the regulations from the Ministry of Human Resources and Immunization, employees are affected by the COVID-19 pandemic may reduce or stop the salaries of employees. Employers must continue to provide residency visas, health insurance during this time. My school has refused to discount fees for parents but is cutting salaries for teachers. Can it do this? Each school is in a different financial situation. Schools may decide on a number of different solutions to ensure they are able to continue providing education to students next academic year. I do not agree with my school's decision to decrease my salary. Who can I contact? Please get in touch with the Ministry of Human Resource and Amortization on the given number. Do these guidelines apply to everyone working at education institutions? Staff members who have respiratory conditions or those with compromised immunity should not return to the workplace at this time. These guidelines also do not currently apply to staff at nurseries or early learning centers who may continue working from home. We ask schools and universities to be mindful of the needs of staff members who have family commitments at home. School access. How are students able to receive new textbooks? School, universities and training centers must adhere to the same rules when distributing books. They can deliver books or request books to be picked up by an adult. In both situations, strict health and safety guidelines must be followed. If books are delivered, they must be received by an adult. Both the delivery driver and the adult must wear masks and gloves when exchanging books. The receipt will be sent online after the delivery has taken place. Education institutes are already aware of these regulations. Can schools receive parents for a school tour? School may conduct tours of the building to prospective students and their parents provided physical distancing and other health and safety guidelines applicable to all school visitors are followed. Examinations. Are all international exams cancelled? Some international exams have been cancelled while others will go ahead under special conditions. In the event that our exam sessions cannot take place, each board will decide how final grades will be determined. Please check with your school or for details. My child is at a private MOE school and has MSAT exams coming up. Will these be held as scheduled? In line with the directives of the Ministry of Education, MSAT exams have been suspended for the year 2019 and 20 academic year. Please contact your school directly for more details. Will internal school and university exams still take place as scheduled? Internal schools and university exams can still go ahead provided they do not require students to be physically present in a shared space. It is up to each school to assess their own capability to carry out these exams. What are the changes to be testing for the national agenda parameters that was planned for the end of this academic year 2019 and 20 during May-June testing windows? The national agenda parameters tests scheduled during May-June have been postponed. For more details and any questions, please refer directly to the test providers. The exact dates of the testing windows will be communicated later by the providers. Fees. Will I be able to get a refund from the school to cover the days my children aren't at school? No. Schools will continue to provide distance learning after the spring break. Can schools introduce extra fees for access to online learning resources and apps for term 3, term 1 for schools starting in April? All the fees you have to pay are included in the school parent contract. Schools are not allowed to include additional fees. My child is due to start the new academic year 2020-2021 in April. When do I have to pay? The first term fees are due at the beginning of the term in April. Schools can collect tuition fees in the minimum of 3 installments due at the beginning of each term. For more details, please contact KHDA registration and refund policy. My child's school has asked me to pay the next term's fee. What options do I have? Schools are continuing to operate and provide education to students, though we also understand that many families are in difficult financial situation. In these uncertain times, we ask schools and parents to come together compassionately and find a solution that is agreeable to both. Can schools deny access to distance learning because of late tuition fee payments? All outstanding term fees need to be paid at the beginning of the term to enable students to continue access to distance learning. Parents are concerned they won't be able to pay fees for term 3. What can I do? Parents must continue to pay school fees during the distance learning period. If they are experiencing financial hardship and cannot pay, we ask schools and parents to come together compassionately and find a solution that is agreeable to both. Our school want to offer parents a discount for term 3. What are the regulations around this? Schools are free to offer a discount on school fees during the period of distance learning. Schools may also change payment terms to suit parents' needs, such as offering monthly payment options. We ask the schools to inform by emailing at the given email if they choose either of these options. Can I get a refund for term 3 fees? In these exceptional circumstances, parents are entitled to a full refund of term 3 fees provided they inform the school before the start of the term on April 5th. Receiving a refund of fees is the equivalent of a withdrawal of enrollment from the school. You will need to pay any outstanding balance to your school to receive academic certificates and reports. Why do I have to pay school fees if my kids are learning from home? Schools will continue to provide distance learning. Paying your school fees on time means that your children's learning will continue uninterrupted. It also means that your children's teachers will continue to be paid and that schools will be able to offer the same facilities and services when they reopen. We understand that it is a difficult time for many parents, both emotionally and financially. If you are concerned about your ability to pay school fees on time, please discuss this with your school. I have already paid transportation fees for the next term. Am I entitled to a refund? All bus fees for term 3, that is term 1 for Indian and Pakistani schools, must be refunded to parents. My child has a learning support assistant at school. The LSA has not been able to support us online. Do I still need to pay for the service? You should only pay for the service you are receiving. Your school must deduct the cost of the LSA from term 3 fees. My employer has cut my salary. Do I still have to pay all full fees for term 3. Your school relies on your fees to keep providing education. If you are concerned you won't be able to pay fees in full, please discuss this with your school as soon as you can. I have already paid my child's school for extra curricular activities for term 3. Am I entitled to a refund? Parents are entitled to a refund on all services that they will not be receiving in term 3, term 1 for Indian and Pakistani schools. This includes extracurricular activities organized by the school. Can I get a refund on term 3 fees from my child's nursery? Nurseries do not come under the jurisdiction of KHDA. If you and your child's nursery haven't been able to find a mutually agreeable solution, we suggest you contact Consumer Rights on the given number and send an email. My child's school is asking me to pay a 5% re-registration deposit for next academic year. Do I have to pay this? Schools may ask parents to pay a re-registration deposit to guarantee a place for their children for the following academic year. This deposit cannot be more than 5% of the total tuition fees and 5 Arab Emirate dirhams 500, whichever is higher, and is deductible from the total tuition fees for the academic year. The re-registration deposit is optional. If parents choose not to pay it, the school will not be able to guarantee a place for their child for the next academic year. I have paid my re-registration deposit for next academic year, but I'm unsure what my situation will be like in September. Would like a refund. Is this possible? Please note that paying a re-registration deposit is only necessary if parents wish to guarantee their child's place in the school for the following academic year. If already paid, refunds on re-registration deposits are only possible if parents leave Dubai before the start of the next academic year, showing visa cancellation or other evidence of moving. Please see registration and refund policy for more information. Students of determination. How will students of determination be able to access distance learning? Teachers will differentiate the curriculum to consider the needs, abilities, and learning preferences of students of determination. Teachers will also ensure that they maintain their students' level of engagement, participation, and progress. How do students of determination access specialist support as part of their distance learning program? For students of determination that access specialist services such as speech and language therapy as a key part of the educational program, this provision should continue. Many therapists and other specialists are providing access to remote therapy services. For a small minority of students who are unable to access online opportunities in a way that is helpful, schools should provide information, training, and guidance to parents about how to apply therapeutic approaches in the home to aid the development of these targeted skills. This may include working with external specialists to develop bespoke packages of support. What is the expectations of a learning support assistant who is employed to support our students of determination? Learning support assistants play a vital role in supporting the educational program for students of determination. Under the supervision of the head of inclusion and designated teacher, the LSA should play a key role in supervising, supporting, and monitoring the educational program and the associated targets. What happens if a student of determination cannot access the school's distance learning program? For students of determination who are unable to access the distance learning schools should provide an alternative life skills and programs that can be applied at home. This program should embed subjects such as maths, English, and science in everyday activities such as making phone calls, writing emails, cooking, and personal organization tasks. Key skills such as communication, problem solving, working with others, using and applying number, and independence should also be developed through these activities. Indian and Pakistani schools. How will my children be protected from infection during board exams? The UAE government has issued schools to clear instructions to make sure that students are in a safe and clear environment while taking examinations. Exam halls are to be cleared and disinfected before and after every exam. Students will be divided into small groups and kept at a safe distance from each other and no more than 15 students per room. Students will not have direct contact with one another. Students who finish their exams will be dismissed immediately. Bus services will be stopped during The exam period. Parents and guardians are asked to drop students off before the exam and pick them up again immediately after. A doctor or nurse will be present during the exam period and check any student who may be showing sign of infection. These were the questions asked by parents, students, and different personals, and these questions are answered by the KHDA on their official website. These questions may were valid for a certain duration and may become invalid after a certain duration. The KHDA reviews and updates every question and information on its official website, and if you are interested to know more, kindly visit the KHDA website, official website. And if you are new on my channel, kindly subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell. And if you like the exhaustive list of question answers, kindly hit like and share it with family and friends. Thank you.